Think about a group that you're glad you're a part of. What makes you feel like you belong? What makes you feel included, like your presence matters, like you're connected to the people in it? For me, it's 100% the church that I'm a part of. Of course, the connection I feel isn't to the actual church building, but to the people. You see, a community is much more than a geographical location. It's a group of people who share common beliefs and characteristics and the relationships that exist among them. This idea of community was studied by Macmillan and Chavis in 1986, and their research suggested 4 factors that added up to make a community: membership, influence, shared emotional connection, and finally integration and the fulfillment of needs. All big concepts, but let's spend some time looking at each of those. So, what does it mean to be a member of a group or society? Well, it's about a sense of belonging, isn't it? It usually also involves some investment in the group and you getting something in return. For example, as the piano player in my church, I give my time, skills, and energy, and in return, I get to enjoy making music and feeling like I'm contributing to something much bigger than myself. Or you might pay a monthly gym membership and know that you've earned the right to be in that group. Along with that comes perceived benefits, things you enjoy that those who aren't part of the group don't. For example, sweat and a really sore body. I don't know what gyms are for. Members may also enjoy the benefits of a common communication system or a sense of identity from the group. The second factor that helps provide a sense of community is influence, that is, convincing others to do something that you want them to do. Individual members can influence an entire group, just as an entire group can influence individual members, and indeed both seem to be required for a healthy community. I mean, think about it. Would you stay in a community if you felt like you had no say at all, like zero influence? Even if you may not be able to change the whole group, you'd at least want to know that your opinions were heard. The more that group members feel that they have influence in the group, the greater the sense of group cohesion and that everyone is working towards a common goal. I'm definitely influenced by my church as I take on its values and passions, but I also always feel like I have a say in what takes place. You won't feel like you're part of community if you're a forced participant. The third factor identified is shared emotional connection, and this quite specifically refers to members feeling connected to the history of the community or the emotional past. It's not that they've been in the community for ages and, personally experienced its history, but that they can identify with the history and have had enough shared experiences to make them feel invested in the group. I haven't been in my church for that long, but I definitely do feel connected to the story of how it developed, the struggles faced and successes, to get to where we are today. There, I said it, where we are today. Notice I'm including myself in the story. Macmillan and Chavis suggest 7 further features that increase this shared emotional connection. The contact hypothesis, which is the more people are in contact, the more they'll share an emotional connection. Quality of interactions, obviously the more positive the experiences, the better. Closure to events, so having that sense that there's a payoff at the end. Shared valent event hypothesis, which is the more important the shared event, the more it'll bring people closer together. For example, the 2011 floods brought many Queenslanders together through both loss and rebuilding. And there's investment, which is as members give of themselves, it increases trust. Effect of honor and humiliation. So humiliation, of course, in the group will decrease emotional connection, but honor, such as through rewards or recognition within the group, will increase it. And finally, spiritual bond, which mostly concerns religious groups, which are often some of the most powerful examples of community, but of course non-religious groups can feel strong spiritual bonds as well, with a shared belief about a social justice issue, for example. And finally, members continue to feel happy and part of the community because of what Macmillan and Chavis call integration and the fulfillment of needs. It's similar to the concept of reinforcement, which we looked at in lessons on conditioning. If you feel like your needs were being met because being part of the group was rewarding you in some way, that would definitely increase your sense of community. You could say that for me, I am rewarded with an avenue to express my musicianship because I'm part of a church, or that I enjoy the competence of other members when I benefit from their help or expertise, or that I sometimes am even given positions of leadership in the church. These are all ways that my place in the community gets solidified because I feel like I'm being integrated and my needs are being met. If you're part of a sporting team, can you think of ways your needs might be met in terms of the rewards that you enjoy? Maybe access to great coaching or leadership roles or experiencing wins, together as a team. All of this contributes to this factor of integration and a fulfillment of needs. Now, I confess that breaking down community into these factors does feel a bit like, aliens, trying to understand human culture. Oh, person A is being rewarded for participation. They must be experiencing integration feelings. Group cohesion has been enhanced. But the thing is, this is just one helpful model that we have in psychology for understanding what makes us feel like we're part of a community. It has its strengths and limitations, of course, but knowing it does give us a way to help communities that are unhealthy or that are breaking apart. You humans don't seem to do very well when you're not part of a community. Us humans. Okay, sorry, my spaceship is calling. Bye!